Good morning, all. Now we will see what are the different types of grammar defined by Chomsky. So, as we already know, a grammar G is defined by G equal to VTPS, where V be the set of variables and T a set of terminals and P a set of productions and S be the start symbol. Whatever be the type of grammar, the grammar G is defined like this tuple. But the productions are different, which are of the form: if it is an unrestricted grammar or phrase structure grammar, unrestricted grammar or phrase structure grammar. Productions are of the form alpha produces beta. Normally a grammar should be defined by this method. Left hand side we have some variables or terminals, and right hand side we have variables or terminal, and it is each rule is defined with this producer symbol. So alpha produces beta for this phrase structure grammar, so there is no restriction for this grammar, and this grammar is recognized by the model called a Turing machine. When I write any grammar for this, any language for this, let me consider IA produces IAB, I produces AA, or I produces small a. Let us consider this language defined for this phrase structure grammar. From this grammar we can derive an input string, like we have to start with the start symbol or the start production IA. So IA produces IAB. So let me take this production initially. Each variable has to be replaced by any of the productions defined for I. So for I alone we have two productions. I produces AA, and for IA we have IAB. So we can replace either IA or just I. Now I replace I alone. I will be replaced by the right hand side value AA, AB. In order to terminate this production, I need production for capital A. So I can define capital A produces some small c. So in the next production, capital A is replaced by small c, small a, and small b. Here we are using this rule 1, this is rule 2, this is rule 3, and this is rule 4. If we assume like so, here we are using rule 1, here we are using, that is I is replaced by AA. Here we are using rule 2, here we are using rule 4. So with this grammar we can produce any number of input strings. So this set of terminal will be called as the input string. So for this unrestricted grammar, if I give this pattern, I can say that this input string is accepted by this grammar or not. If I can derive ACB from this set of productions, I can say that this ACAB is derived from this grammar. So this input is accepted by the grammar like this, and it is for this grammar I can design a Turing machine. Okay. Second type is called slight restriction over this grammar, called context sensitive grammar. What is the restriction applied here is productions are of the form same alpha produces beta, but the condition here is length of alpha should be less than or equal to length of beta. So this is meaning cardinality of alpha. Cardinality of alpha meaning length of alpha should be less than or equal to length of beta. As I told you earlier, alpha and beta are called as grammar symbols. Grammar symbols. So similar to this grammar, we can write some examples for context sensitive grammar also. But the thing is, length of left hand side should be less than or equal to this length of right hand side. Here this grammar is also a kind of context sensitive grammar, because length of this left hand side is always lesser than the length of right hand side. Here we have 2, length as 2, and here length 3. So this is one kind of context sensitive grammar also. Then some more restriction over the grammar called as context free grammar. Context free grammar. So context free grammar, how do you define a context free grammar? The same method here we have to follow. G is defined by VTPS a tuple where productions P are of the form capital A produces alpha. Capital A produces alpha. In the left hand side I have only one variable, that is called capital A. Either A or any variable. Only one variable should be at the left hand side, and in the right hand side you can have any number of variables. So what I told, alpha and beta called as grammar symbol is alpha comma beta. It belongs to variable union terminal full star. So these are all the variables or terminals coming from the set variables or terminals. So context free grammar can be of the form capital A produces alpha. For example, I can write S produces AS A, or S produces B. So from this example I can derive what input string I can derive. S produces ASA by using rule 1. Again I can use this, S will be replaced by ASA. The same A comes here. At last we need to replace the variable by the terminal. So this S is replaced by the second production, S produces B. So AAB, AA. So this is the input string I am deriving from the grammar S produces ASA or B. So this grammar is called as context free grammar. So on the left hand side I have only one variable, and in the right hand side I can have any number of variables or productions. The last type is called regular grammar. In this type, grammar should be of the form, production should be of the form, a variable produces a terminal followed by a variable, or a variable produces variable followed by a terminal, or a variable produces simply a terminal. So regular grammar is called as highly restricted grammar. So normally tokens are represented using this regular grammar. Likewise, programming languages are represented using context-free grammar. Right? So just I summarize, we have 4 types of grammar under formal languages. A grammar G is defined by VTPS, and the productions are of the form of under unrestricted grammar, alpha produces beta, context sensitive, alpha produces beta, and length of alpha should be less than or equal to length of beta. For context free grammar, capital A produces alpha, and for regular grammar, capital A produces, or a variable produces a terminal followed by a variable, or a variable followed by a terminal, or simply a terminal.